Welcome in. You are speaking with the Meeple's champion, and it is week 2 and video 2 of our board game expansion reviews. This week, we're going to be jumping back into one of my favorite worker placements from when I really first started getting into that part of the hobby. The game was called Lords of Waterdeep, and the expansion is Lords of Waterdeep, Scoundrels of Skullport. Now, this is a really cool expansion because it does a few things. One is, you can play with a 6th player in this game. So that's fantastic. I love when you add a 6th player to a game. It really allows that option now of being able to get one extra person in. Suddenly, a cutoff number has expanded for you. For me, it's one of my favorite things, as long as it doesn't cause the game to become basically overwhelming because there's too many people going. This game does not have that issue. The second part is, there are 2 expansions within the same box. You can use one, the other, or both. You have Skullport, as well as the Undermountain. Now, the Undermountain is where you're really just getting a little expansion to the board. There's a few extra spaces. It's nothing crazy. Skullport comes with the skulls, and the skulls are negative points. So these are going to have extra cards that could give you negative points to the skulls, as well as all the spaces available, which are going to be affecting not only how you get the skulls, but how many points each skull is worth in the negatives. So it's a huge part to this game. But the game itself, to me, does a great balancing act, allowing you to choose. You can add that 6th player only and just play the original game, and it works fine. You can add one or both of the expansions, and it works fine. It's really, really good. That being said, why don't we jump in, let's talk our 7 categories, and see where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art still holds up. It's just continued the same art style as before. The box is great, the cards are great. Thumbs up. Your components. So you have these little sideboards now, same setup of the cardboard as the original board, as well as your new pieces for your little skulls that you're going to be adding in. All of this is really good components, the same quality and high grade expectation you got from the original. Thumbs up. Your price. This game isn't that expensive. It's only like a $30 expansion, even though it's really 2 expansions in here. That's a really good price. It's one of those games you're going to find usually in most board game stores. You know, whenever I go to a game store, if I'm going to see an expansion, this is one of the first ones I'll notice. And you're going to find it online easily. Thumbs up. Your difficulty. Now, the expansions can be a little difficult. I think that playing with the 6th player adds no difficulty, and I think that the Undermountain adds no difficulty. I do think that the skulls, their parts of the game, can make it a little bit more math, and that can be a little tough for some types of players, knowing how to work with those skulls, how negative are they going to get. But to me, it's not like it's jumping up a whole grade of difficulty, and that's what an expansion is supposed to do anyways. It should be able to push you a little bit, because you've gotten used to the original. So you don't have to use the skulls to set that part, but if you want to, it'll help make it a little bit more difficult, age it up a bit for you. For me, thumbs up. Replayability. What I loved about this expansion is that when I got it, the expansion made this game massively more replayable. I started asking people to play the base game at 6. I started using that Undermountain at times. I liked using the skulls, but I didn't want to push it on people but with the Undermountain. And then at times I'd have both of them in there. It gave this a lot of additional life when the game started to get boring to me. Got to be a thumbs up. Your keys to victory. Nothing massively changed here, except the idea that now you were using these skulls and these extra locations to go to help build on whatever it was that either expand on your card attack, expand on you being able to build stuff, or be paying attention to what these sudden new piece of the game where negatives mattered. Could you force somebody into a negative option because you guys have filled the board? I really liked that. Thumbs up. Is the game unique? I think that the option of the 2 different expansions, the idea of bringing in the negative points, the idea of adding a 6th player, all of it together was an extremely unique expansion. I haven't seen another expansion that truly did what this did. Give you multiple expansion options, additional player options, and you choose the order of which they come in. I really like that. It is unique to me. Thumbs up. Overall, what do I think? I think it's a fantastic game that now has a fantastic expansion. And if you're looking for something to buy that you can play just 2-player, which I have, and it's a fun 2-player game, but it plays well at 3 and at 4 and at 5 and at 6 and with the expansions for all those, this is the one. So don't be afraid to add this in. If you're a worker placement fan, I highly recommend this. It is without question one of the better ones I've invested in. Yes, it hasn't been played as often in the last few years, but that's because my board game collection has really expounded here. And with the size that it's become, older games that are gotten already 50 plus plays have gotten put to the side while I try to get newer games to the table. That being said, I won't get rid of this because I know that when I've caught up and I've truly given all these newer games a chance, this is a game that will start to come back out in a few more years regularly to the table again because it is that good. Well, we have been talking about the expansion for Lords of Waterdeep, Scoundrels of Skullport, and you've been speaking to the Meeple's champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want this expansion for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.